is your backstage pass to the private conversations between Sri, Kira, and the Ascended Realms. The place where magic dwells, and the secrets are revealed. Humanity is at the moment of self-ascension for all who choose to open their eyes, expand their hearts, and claim their mastery. Provocative? For sure. Authentic? Definitely. Ready to get on a ride of your life and trust the universe to get you the rest of the way? Call forward a smile of mastery. And here are Sri and Kira.
Namaste, beloved ones, and welcome from right here at beautiful Tosa Blue Mountain Sanctuary in Ecuador. I am Kira.
And I am Sri Ranka, and we are delighted to be with you live and alive today.
On this super, I mean, you feel the energy, right? I mean, every sense, I was giggling, I was reading in the OTR chat room right before we went on air, headache, sense of time loss, things speeding up. Yes, and we have so much to talk about. We're within like, what, 30-ish hours, kind of this phenomenal peak moment. And today, Sri and I are really excited because we've got graphs and charts for those of you watching us over at our YouTube channel. And if you want to watch us live at YouTube right now, go to Oneness Talk Radio channel and hey, subscribe. That way you'll know, because today we're not only are Sri and I broadcasting, but right after this show, you want to stay tuned for Twin Flame Divine Fire, who will also be broadcasting from right here at Tosa Blue Mountain. But Sri, I gotta talk about, okay, tease guys, I did a full ascended numerology chart.
Here, let me
okay, well, I don't want to give away too much right now, but okay. Whoops. But we have a lot to share about this weekend, about the energy, and about everything that's happening, because we are in a moment of, I want to use the word hyper manifestation. How does that sound? Does that sound right?
I've been hyper most of my life.
Well, wait, we're hyper because we still have our beautiful guest, Wafa Tarnowska here, who is the new host of Sufi Voices right here. And right before we went on the air, she made us this extraordinary, wonderful Turkish coffee. I must tell you, exquisite. So good that we actually have a coffee here called the Wafa when you visit Tosa Blue Mountain.
It's on the menu. And one of the things I want to share is that when you have a deep, smooth, rich cup of coffee, you're tasting something that is a gift of the earth. Yeah. You know, you look at cacao or chocolate and coffee were traded in this area of the world and other areas as well, because these were essential nutrients. Whether it's the cacao, the chocolate, or the coffee, or of course there's things like the pineapples and the bananas, but they don't preserve. But the coffee and the cacao can be stored value.
Yeah, fascinating. And you know, talking about stored value, Sri, are we in the call board today?
Yep.
We are. So bear in mind, we think we're in the call board, and we're also wanting to say hi to everybody over at the TFR chat, and to, again, all of you over here at the Oneness Talk Radio chat, to all of you listening in at YouTube Live. And Sri, can they call us?
Well, let's give it a try.
Oh, let's give it a try.
The call-in number is 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. And if you're in the United Kingdom, try 44-203-393-2871. I'm going to say it again.
I think that needs to be said again.
44-203-393-2871. Give us a ring and let's see if we can connect you into the conversation.
And offer you a soul reading if you like, because one of the gifts that Sri and I are always just so blessed and honored to offer to all of you is that deep connection of spiritual family.
Yes.
You know, when we come together, certainly I see this over here in the Oneness Talk Radio chat room and lots of connection over at the TFR chat, that there is a moment for us to come together and just kind of say, you know what, in this moment, I'm just going to give myself the gift of relaxing into this experience. I will carve this 1 hour out and say yes to me. And when we come together and then we have the honor and blessing to offer soul readings, isn't it always perfect? I know on Sundays our lines are so jammed that it's like getting in is a miracle. And because people are still learning about this show, this is your opportunity to actually get in on the call board. And I know that everyone always feels like a surrogate for everyone else. It's like every person's reading in some respect is answering another person's reading. And we get so many emails like that.
Yes.
And I do also want to throw out there, remember guys, you can write Sri and I at guest@SriandCareRadio.com. Again, that's guest@SriandCareRadio.com. We do get hundreds and hundreds of emails there. And just want to let you know that we have now been exploring these emails on all 3 of our shows. Our Thursday night amazing show with our dear friends Alan and Sandra, Soul Mirror. You want to catch that show. Of course, this show, Explore the Mysteries, and then our Sunday show, Sri and Care Live, the voice of passionate action. So, hey, Sri. This is exciting this week, don't you think? I mean, this energy.
It's exciting.
You know, and I'm watching you busily typing.
No,
into
I
the chat,
just,
so
for
come
those of
back.
you that are listening, we have 3 computer devices,
We
2
do,
mics,
we do.
and a mixer,
and a
all
camera
on this,
over
and a
there.
camera over
And
there.
I don't know which one we should be looking at.
Well,
so anyway.
I just tuned into the Oneness Talk chat room and asked them, how is the YouTube looking? Because I don't have any more hands.
Yeah.
And they say it's great. So.
Yay! And I see that someone just put in, guest 446 just put in the link. Thank you. Thank you for those of us that can't find it. We're so grateful. So I want to get back to this energy, Sri.
Yes. We are at a really profound time. And I feel like I'm a broken record because every time we sit down to share, it seems like we're at a really profound time.
Because we are.
It just
because
keeps
everything's
moving.
compressing, right?
It
I mean,
keeps
we really
moving.
are in that moment, yeah.
And so this moment, and we're coming up to this amazing full moon energy. We're going to talk more about that.
A lot, including all the ascended numerology.
Let alone 2019 and
yeah.
what it means, the momentum. And one of the things that you and I were chatting about earlier today was the truth will be revealed.
And it's being revealed. I mean, you guys, have we seen, no wonder time seems crazy, and everybody's talking about it,
Yeah.
but honestly, how many things have already become revealed or are being brought to light, and there's like every day, not only on a personal or a global or, whatever level, but it's every day. And I think that that's really revelatory. We let out these predictions in November. So bear in mind, we started talking about this energy in November 2018. We put out in print in the Sedona Journal on our website. You can read the full 2019 predictions, talking about how this year it was going to be like that thunderbolt at New Year's Eve, and it was like, boom, we're back in the ascended escalator, we're outside the anomaly, things are going to get very intense very quickly.
Well, it's very much, it's like a full moon energy, only it keeps going.
And going, and going. It's like how much more waxing, we talked about this on Thursday night, how much more waxing can happen right now?
Well, and it's one of those things where we're all traveling together, we need to pay attention.
Yeah.
One thing I know for sure is that when energy is waxing or increasing, your thoughts and feelings seem to have more power because there is an amplification of that which you are emanating.
Well, that's so true. And everything amplifies, not
everything.
Just that you want to amplify.
No, and so if you have some shadow pieces that you're not wanting to look at, they might be rising up as well. And so this is a unique time for healing, and an important time because the truth is being seen more clearly. People, places, institutions, it's kind of like you get to see them in their truth more than before, or let's just say they're less cloaked. And I think that we're in for an amazing 2019, and I believe that what's coming in the next few hours will propel those who are awake to the opportunity.
Whew, now, speaking of that, Sri, I want to check in. We've got a lot going on over here in the chat room, and I want to check in. Pat from Vermont here. I have been sick since leaving Ecuador. Oh, Angel. I'm wondering if this is a clearing. Yes. And the eclipse energies are amazing. Oh, yeah, we have a lot to share about that. We are getting 8 to 24 inches of snow.
24 inches of snow.
Oh, my angel, my angel. I just want to share, first of all, to you personally, Pat, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And, Sri and I have also been really dancing with physical symptomology since the entire event ourselves. And what I can share with you is that with all my heart and soul, what we know is that this is going to keep building until 12:12 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night, and we have a lot of show to talk about that today. Is it a clearing? Yes. And I believe that because you had such a powerful one-on-one connection during the Divine Ensoulment, that your clearing has been amplified. And so I would strongly suggest, as we're going to suggest for everyone during the show today, really go deep with empowering yourself. Call in that energy. And I say that to everyone. Call in your empowered self. Really start focusing. And that's just a hint of what we're going to talk about.
Well, and I want to pick up on what Pat is sharing.
Absolutely.
Because anytime you get quote unquote sick, whether it's a little cold or virus, whatever, your body is expelling that which no longer serves you. It's not just that you were infected, it's that you have been given an opportunity to release. And sometimes opportunities piggyback on the virus, so to speak. But there is an interesting connection. I have noticed in my own path that periodically I get an upgrade, so to speak. And that upgrade is often comes with a fever or a cold or other bodily responses.
Katrina and I were just talking about this the other day, that right now what we're noticing, and we finally had to sit back ourselves and go, oh, this is like next gen ascension symptoms. And you know, every year we put out revised ascension symptoms video in February. So look for the February revised, updated 2019 video. But what I can share you as part of it right now is this is getting into the fascia. Okay, this is going beyond the muscles and the bones. This is actually, I would call it fasciitis. And so the other day I was like, okay, I'm having a fascinating journey with my shoulder and my elbow. And then I kid you not, I was working on, and I'm so excited to say it's done and released, and go check it out, our Cosmic Origins PDF, yay! June solstice and September equinox.
Kara has created a fabulous informational brochure.
Check it out. Come join us.
Beautiful photos and explanations of what we're going to be doing at the solstice.
I don't know that we have ever been so excited about a residential journey here, and we were clearly told it had to be held twice, and it had to be on those two times. Check it out, shrinkhero.com, go to the events. It's right there on the homepage. Click through, get the PDF. And the reason I brought that up was because talking about those ascension symptoms, I was finishing it, and I kid you not, guys, I have been like, I don't know who's been controlling the physical form, but I literally, my finger locked. I couldn't move it anymore. It was this one right here, and it's still tender, but you notice it's moving again, and I got it. I got it that I was not taking enough time for me. I got it that I was out of balance. I got it that things were not the way that we would encourage them to be. And I stopped, and I sat, and I connected, and my body told me exactly what I needed, and I was able to take care of it. And I think, Shri, that was the lesson, that right now, if your body is calling to you with any type of symptomology, before you run to a doctor, and I'm not saying you shouldn't if you feel you need to, but before you do, this is a really rich moment. Bring your hand to the place that's hurting.
Yes.
And then really listen. What is it you need to tell me? And then trust what you hear. Because when we can become one telepathic entity between the beautiful energy that inhabits this body and the body of form, that's sacred union, and that expands everything and pops you into multidimensional experience. And so it's a powerful moment.
It's important to remember that whenever you have a physical issue, lean into it with your attention and your love. Sometimes we like to push away, oh, don't bother me right now, I'm busy, but lean into it. As Kira shared, put your hand on the body part. One hand on the heart and another hand on the body part will set up a circuit of healing energy. Very useful, and you will receive information. Now, speaking of receiving information, we do have a caller standing by.
Well, let's get a caller on, or let's test the call board. Thank you for everyone who's calling in, and the rest of you call on in.
So we have a caller from California. You're on the air. How are you?
Namaste. Welcome.
Oh my God, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for the January It's so good. I had so much fun, and I was crying, and it was great. And I thank you so much. I love you.
Oh, we love you. We love you, Angel. Thank you for calling in today. It's just such a joy to connect with you.
Thank you. I would love a mini soul reading. Oh my God. There's been so much happening. I'm really starting to create so much right now, just little crafts and stuff like that. And I just had surgery, so I know there was a spelling going on, and you guys just hit everything right there. I would love to know where my guys would like me to go. Thank you so much.
Okay, dear.
Wow. Well, beloved one, first and foremost, I want you to just, if it's safe to close your eyes, I really invite you to close your eyes, and anyone else who's connecting right now with us, if you want to close your eyes, you can receive this energy as well, because I'm hearing from, and here's the number, there are 19 angelic presences, and they each have, you know, we would call them wings, but they look like portals of energy, and they've woven like a basket around you in many different colors. And they're saying that within this basket is everything you need, and you have been gathering it from many different lifetimes, including this one. But you haven't taken time to really gaze into your basket and notice what these ingredients are building. And they're saying that right now the number 4 is very powerful for you. And they're showing it to me like a star, like, you know, like those 4-pointed stars, and it's like pulsing like a heartbeat. And it's like it's right in the center of your ascended chest. And they're saying that that energy is getting bigger and bigger right now. And if you breathe into it and pulse out that star, the basket will appear, these 19 energies will reveal, and the unification you have so cried out for will be. And so it is. I bow, honey. Thank you.
Many blessings. I did mute the caller, so the line would be clear, and we thank you for calling.
Dizzy. I don't know if you're all dizzy. I hope we're not muted, but
No.
Okay, all right. Well, is she still there? Did she want to share anything?
Yes, I'm going to unmute you, dear, so you can talk again
I'm
now.
so dizzy. If you're still there, honey, we love you.
I love you too. Thank you so much. And yes, that made perfect sense. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Namaste. Whew. Well, I really just want to share with everyone that, Shri, I think we need to talk about this absolute energy that's coming up right now. Okay, so you guys know, here we are today. It is the 19th. And on the 21st, literally just 12 minutes, and actually beginning in the later evening of the 20th, we will enter into this full lunar eclipse. And this is the last time we're going to see a lunar eclipse like this until well into 2021, guys. This is a very foreboding moment. And the energy is very, very powerful. Now, one of the things I wanted to do was first offer this visual if you're watching us on YouTube. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, let me describe this, because what I'm showing you right now is that this eclipse, the full power of this eclipse is 100% over North and South America. And it does touch some other pieces on the other side of the world. And this great map that I found was at timeanddate.com, and it was great. And one of the things that's important to notice here is that if you pay attention, that it is all of North and South America that are going to be the most deeply affected, where you will see the red blood moon, where you will be able to see the full lunar eclipse, where you will be able to really embrace that energy, is very, very powerful. So if you are pacing, or if you are aware of what's happening over in this side of the world, and then if you expand into your multidimensional presence of the oneness of all of us, and we see that we are only one world, one being, one heart, one light, then we recognize that while the impact, let's just use that word, while the impact may be in that hemisphere of the planet, it will have a ripple effect. We are all a part of this. We are all, it's that drop in the water.
Yes.
And here's what's so powerful, guys. And so my next visual, now this is in UTC time, okay? So I'm gonna give it to you adjusted for Eastern Standard Time, and I'll tell you why in a moment. So this is the actual sequence. Yeah, I know I'll have to read it, but this is the actual sequence of the eclipse, which I found at that same website on the same page. And here's what I want you guys to get. The maximum eclipse, meaning this is like, this reminds me so much, Sri, of like the multidimensional experience, because you have the prenumbral, the partial, the full, the maximum, right? So it's like we're building through the dimensions on this eclipse, and we really are, and I'm going to talk about that. So we're going to hit that 9th dimensional, and I'm going to call it gateway.
It is.
It is, right?
It is,
9th dimensional gateway at 12:12 a.m. January 21st on the East Coast of the United States, which means Washington, D.C. And so I want you guys to really get that this opportunity, that this energy is going to be like a pinhole in the 3rd dimensional piece. And so if you've been tracking with what Sri and I have been sharing for many years now, 2019 is the year that multidimensional awareness is the way to navigate this, not only navigate it, but flourish through this time, because you must see this time from the broader perspective. Or you see this time from the 3rd dimensional perspective, and you can flourish very well there too. And that's where many people, I think, get concerned or afraid, is that they don't understand that the 3rd dimension is also going to have its heyday. I mean, we're all peaking together here, okay? Yeah. There's no good or bad in the universal experience. There's those who chose this experience and those who chose that, and the agreements between the two that support each other. And this is so important to remember, because as you do, your heart ignites true oneness. You understand compassion at a level that transcends this world. And so this is why knowing the date and time of this eclipse are so important, and why you're all having all of these energy experiences, why all of these things are happening to all of us. And Sri, before we go any further, we've had so many emails come in, and I want to read an email that came in that I think is very appropriate. And this actually came in over at our support for malasforascension.com and was forwarded to us over to hear a guest at Sri and Kira Radio. But I think this is really very appropriate for this moment. So we're going to read this email, because I think it also, the fact that it actually came in today, the fact that the energy that went with this eclipse. So let me read this, and here's what it says. Hi, Sri and Kira. Thank you so much for your ascension updates and ascension symptoms. That's how I found your website. I was noticing changes in my cranium when feeling my head, and all of a sudden the thought came to me, is this an ascension symptom? Sure enough, when I Googled it, your site popped up explaining how your head can change into a diamond shape. Can you elaborate for me to help me understand a little more about what is going on here? Because mine has now changed to this diamond shape. A friend of mine says that I'm morphing. I know that souls can look and appear different in different dimensions. Who is said to have a very large skull in the color of blue? Thank you so much for your time. It's much appreciated. Blessings to you both in your journey. Denise.
Well, lovely question.
Perfect question. Yeah. And Denise, the reason your email hit us so beautifully was, number one, the timing, that it came in during this moment. Sri, we really should share something that I don't know that we've shared before on air.
Well,
where I'm going.
It happened to us.
It actually happened to us, which is how we know about it. We can show you pictures, like literally before and after. But when Sri and I first came together, the first thing that happened to us was both of our heads elongated, both of our skulls got larger, and our hands literally our fingers got a little longer, and after my near-death experience was the first time I had serious body, if you want to use the word morphing. And after my near-death experience, the 10 years from my near-death experience until my next kind of knock on the head, my skin color got much, much lighter than my birth color. I was much darker as a child. My hair used to be very, very kinky, curly, thick, and you can see now that it is still thick, but it's not kinky, curly anymore. My eyes got lighter. They're still dark, but they were dark, and my eyes got a little lighter, and I grew. I was 5'7" when I had my experience, and I'm now 5'10", and that was the most visible thing, was to grow that tall during my 30s. That normally doesn't happen.
No, very unusual.
It's very unusual. So a lot happened after that. So we are very familiar with these experiences, and they are very much ascension acceleration experiences. We don't do a lot of promotion or broadcasting about the walk-in experience or all of that, because one of the blessings that the Archangelic Realm has shared with us is that you are given your gifts for you and for you to be able to expand with. And it is only an ego of form that needs to tell everyone about it. And that if you live it, they will know it. and they'll ask you the question as a confirmation rather than an inquiry. And so there's a lot of questions Sri and I would happily answer, but we don't think it's necessary to have to talk about it. However, going back to our beautiful, beautiful Denise, Angel, yes. Why do you think you found our site now? Why do you think that, I mean, look at your timing, my love.
Yeah.
You know, look at your timing, and please read our book, 2012 Atlantean Revelations. It's got a lot of answers for you that you're looking for and might not even know you're asking yet. So I just wanted to say hello, and to all of you that are having, especially headaches. If you're having headaches right now, make sure you've opened your star consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is star consciousness? We have our third eye, which is between, right? Everybody knows where the third eye is. Well, the star consciousness, you ever see where the eye of Shiva is located? It's star consciousness. And so if you go to your third eye and you just kind of move up, it's usually right about here, about an inch and a half above, you will actually feel it. You actually, if you breathe in through the nose, exhale slowly, you feel it. It's like lock. You get it. And so the reason I'm sharing that with you is oftentimes the headaches right now are because your ascended presence is unable to be reconciled with the body of form, because the body of form doesn't know what's happening. And so if you're listening to this show, may it send the energy of reassurance to you, your body of form, your soul, your ascended presence, that you are just fine. Breathe and relax and smile, and I think you're going to be pretty delighted with everything that's happening right now. I really do.
And so anytime you have symptomology, smile and say, that's my confirmation.
Exactly.
I'm growing, I'm evolving. Drink a little water, relax, and just let it pass.
And you know, we're going to come back in the second half of this show, and we're going to talk about ascended numerology. What is ascended numerology, and why is it so important for you to understand what's happening right now?
So we'll be right back in a few minutes.
okay now. Thank you, Andrew. Oh, Sri, you just put the slide. There we go.
No, I'm just checking.
No, it says we're okay now.
Super.
Thank you, chat room. Thank
No,
you.
thank you. It's interactive.
That's the gift of it. So I want to go back and talk about, so given that, you know, there's a lot of myth and lore around the moon, and rightly so. You know, there's so much around the moon. I remember as a child, you know, watching the moon landing happen and being glued in front of my black and white TV and my jammies, and my father saying, watch this is history. And, you know, the moon is really big. And the reason why this moon is so spectacularly big is we are in this moment of reinsertion into the ascension escalator. I cannot stress that enough. I know I'm a broken record, guys, but track this. So at 2012, we have the next level hit, okay? It was like that rocket jettisoning. And the first jettison was the millennium. So we have the millennium, you have 2012. Then what happened is we started getting propulsion. And it's like the farther you get out in space, the less you need anything from this world because you're now kind of being pulled into that world. Well, that's what 2015 initiated. And it's a series of time between 2015 and 2022. And this is all on our website. Just when you get to our website, if it says new to our website, go here first, click that page and read it. And so what happens is that we had 2015, 2016, 2017, right? That was a series of energies that was like a foundation that created, remember that created 2018. Yeah. So it was 2015, 16, and 17 that created 2018. This was not set in stone. That's why this is an escalator. We are all responsible, and this is why staying awake helps, right? It assists, because we have to play our role as well as those that are playing their role in the third dimension are playing theirs, and it's like, it's on us to step up, right? So as we had 2018, that was the anomaly. It was like the respiration. It was like a moment, it was like a timeout, believe it or not, as wild, intense, crazy, revelatory. That was the timeout, guys.
Or the time to catch up.
Exactly. That was your preparation. And I know that for some that could be like, oh my God, like I'm feeling you guys, breathe, okay? Because some of you aren't breathing. And so seriously, I need to breathe. All right. So that brings us to 2019. 2019 is the reinsertion. Now here's the exciting opportunity. You get to re-up. You get to actually reclaim. What did you start? And I want you to go way back, right? What were you doing before 2012 or right around there? What dream have you had? What vision have you had for yourself that for whatever reason either didn't kick off the way you wanted to, or it never quite manifested, or something happened along the way? This is the moment, not this year, this moment. This is the moment. And this is why tomorrow, please, with all of our heart and soul, do whatever you can to join us live tomorrow, right here, onenesstalkradio.com, noon Pacific time, when we will collectively activate the Merkaba of the face and put energy around this 12/12 lunar eclipse happening tomorrow night, early Monday morning. And so this is your moment, right? This is the opportunity. And what do you want to dream? Remember that an eclipse is a moment out of time. It's like for that one moment, imagine the first time they broke the sonic barrier, or the first time they broke through the atmosphere, right? It's that moment of push, 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 accelerate, 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 and then we're all going to have that one moment where it's going to go pop. And we're all going to have that moment, and it's going to happen at 12:12, 14 seconds. It's 12:12:14. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. We are all going to have that moment. And we're going to collectively energize that for ourselves, for our planet, for our universe tomorrow on our show at 12:12 Pacific time. And then together we will seal that energy, enter quantum space, and project it ahead. So it's going to be an amazing day. And then I encourage you, if you can, try to be awake if you can, no matter where you live in the world, set your alarm, try to be awake at 12:12 Eastern time, AM, to then kind of re-catch up with your energy and receive it on the back end. Yeah. Very powerful.
A couple little things I want to share. Yeah. One of them is that we have the ability to tune in to times that are in different sequences. Meaning, you can tune into a past event and call that energy into now. You can project energy for a future event and have it be there then. now and then are misnomers. There is only one grand now, and we tend to segment it and say this is what we're doing, this here and now. But we are able as multidimensional beings to work with the timeline. And this is one of the experiences I want you to just trust as we move into the show tomorrow.
Yeah, well, and those of you that have taken our quantum clairvoyance and have learned the quantum process to enter the quantum field, you already know how to do this. Make sure when you join us tomorrow, because we will initiate some of those processes. So I want to talk about the science of ascendant numerology.
Yes, that's the next thing. So let me chat about that for a second. It's important to recognize that there are many tools in our world, and some of the tools have been available in a limited version or an interpreted version. Many, many years ago, I'm sure most of you have heard of the Library of Alexandria. And at that time on this planet, the rulers were gathering all of the sacred texts, all of the knowledge to offer this great gift to the world, to put it in one place, that if you were a sincere seeker or scholar, you could come and turn the pages of authentic information.
And this was not about a single dogma. This was literally, you know, that was one of the beautiful things about the Alexandrian Library, was that it was about collecting vast knowledge in the intention to keep it safe for all time. Good intentions, right?
Well, then we look at it through the manipulated energy and say, now all those sacred texts and information were in one spot, and it was burnt.
And here's the key. In the Lost Books of the Essene, if you've read the Lost Books of the Essene, I mean, yes, from a physical standpoint, the burning of the library at Alexandria was a moment of extraordinary release of a lot of wisdom and knowledge. And what the Lost Books of the Essene says, that which is burned in this world is merely released into its true form once you enter the fifth dimension. It's basically like a safekeeping. You know, in all of the ancient wisdom schools, mystery schools, there are always things that are coded or encoded. Even our books, Archangel Zadkiel said, carried codes. And if you've read our first book, Sacred Union, The Journey Home, you know the codes. That's why people read that book 10, 20, 100 times, because it keeps opening. And one of the things that happened was that the Lost Books of the Essene teaches that all of that energy went into this fifth dimensional experience. And so it's always there. You just have to allow yourself to remember and float up into it.
The wisdom that these words represent, you could burn the paper, but the wisdom doesn't go away.
Right? The energy doesn't die,
It's
just merely the manual recording.
It's just in a different form. It's not in the 3D physical.
Exactly.
So with a little practice, with a little love, as they might say, one can learn to access this information that's in the etheric. Now, my beloved Kira has done that very thing, and she brought through ascendant numerology. This is the numerology that was available at the Library of Alexandria. This is the numerology that has a greater depth of accuracy than what you might have learned in other forms, because it uses more numbers. It's more complete. It's sort of like a telescope with more power.
Well, here's what happened is that you guys are probably also familiar with the Council of Nicaea, right? So the Council of Nicaea was where basically a bunch of men got together and decided what the Bible should look like. And they said, yes, no, throw out, no. Oh my God, a woman wrote this gospel? God, no. You know, and oh my God, this one shows Jesus was married. You know, so a bunch of guys got together, essentially, forgive me, and said, this is what's going to be the Bible. Now, I am not saying what's in the Bible isn't extraordinary. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that there was a lot of other dogma that got established at that time. One of them being that 13 was a bad or unlucky number. That got anchored. There were other reasons for that, but that got anchored in that moment. Also the zero. What would be the concept of a zero? So numerology in and of itself became very linear. It became very density oriented, and it got truncated down to the numerals 1 through 9 exclusively, and it became a very simplistic way of looking at something. Ascended numerology is the numerology that was used in all of the old Essene mystery schools. It is the original numerology that, of course, accounts for the universal experience of the soul. Ascended numerology literally unlocks the literal code of the soul, and then it charts. It gets charted, very much like astrology. And this is the chart for the eclipse that I did. And if you're not familiar with Ascended numerology, I mean, go to our website, go to ShriNkira.com and go to our home study programs and look at Ascended numerology.
Fabulous course.
It's a bona fide science, and it is extremely accurate. Or if you just want an Ascended numerology reading or whatever, go to MalasForAscension.com, because we offer them as part of that service. But what's more important to understand is that when we incorporate 13 digits, and so Ascended numerology utilizes the 0 through 12. So the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 are all used. It becomes a much broader. It also changes based on the language of your birth certificate. So if you were born in a country that had a language different than a country with another language, of course your numerology is going to reflect that choice of birth location. And so Ascended numerology is much more intimate, it is much more personal, it is much more accurate, and yeah, it was an honor when the Essene, the cosmic Essene, floated it back through me to bring onto the planet. Now, I have used it for many, many, many years, but it was only about, I don't know, 6 years ago that they allowed me to finally release it to the world, and it's very, very powerful. So here's what I want you guys to hear, and I'm just going to read this. Those of you that are on YouTube, I have it all typed up right here, but you know, you just can't make this stuff up, and I'm using the science of Ascended numerology.
Well, and what Kira has done is followed the teaching that is available for you to learn as well, should this be something that you're called to learn.
Yeah.
And she's typed up the how these numbers and how this stacks up, and it's truly amazing.
It's almost breathtaking. I mean, like, I'm having a hard time breathing myself. So here's the first thing. Remember that with Ascended numerology, there's a formula as far as the numbers and the way that they're put together. So the first thing I looked at was Washington, D.C.
Yes.
So using Ascended numerology, Washington, D.C., United States of America, is an 11. Now, this is a very, very powerful number because it's a mirror energy. So that means we are looking at mirror energy within the third and fifth dimension on what's going to happen in Washington, D.C. Remember, this is where we talked about how we're building through all the phases of the eclipse. And let me just go back for a moment. So you have the penumbral eclipse, then you have the partial, then you have the full, and then you have maximum, okay? So the eclipse begins. Then it moves into the partial phase. Well, that's where the illusion starts fading. That's when you're lifting up from the third dimension, right? The illusion is fading. You're able to start going into the void. Then the full eclipse begins, and you're able to transcend this dimension altogether, and you're able to float in the fifth. When we hit the maximum, you've hit the peak journey of this eclipse, which will take you from fifth through seventh into ninth. And so this is a very powerful moment, and that's why when that happens at 12:12 Eastern Standard Time, it will call forward this mirror, and that mirror energy is all about harmony, and it's also about the energy of the moment. And so there's going to be this powerful moment of mirrored energy, and we can call forward the energy for those two mirrors to love each other, or they might be like two pieces of a magnet, right? You know, you look into a mirror, do you like what you see? And so that's something we want to consider when we go into our ascended presence tomorrow, when we do the thing. So that's the first thing. That's just the 11, right? That's just the location, all right? Now, the date, January 21, 2019. I used January 21 because it's at 12:12 a.m. It's actually 12:14 a.m. when the maximum eclipse hits, and that is a 12.
Whoa,
now, first of all, in the charting of Ascended numerology, when we put together these amazing charts that I'm showing those of you at YouTube, to have the 11 and 12 sitting right next to each other is a waxing energy, right? Think of it as a clock. You were at the 11 position, and so you're already at the 11 with Washington, D.C., which is in itself illuminating. Then you take that and you go to full strike 12 on the date. And remember, then we go to what? The time. Okay, and so the time is actually the 11 again.
Wow.
So it's like a ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a ricochet. So the way that you would chart this is that you have the city in the 11, the date in the 12, and then it's like a ricochet back.
Well, it's
again.
that whole mirror
Exactly, but it's going to make, it's a mirror of the mirror. Okay, so you guys get it? It's a mirror of the mirror. This is like being in the fun house of mirrors and going, oh my God.
But this is exactly how
exactly.
a consciousness that is expecting form
right.
will transit dimensions. There's a
exactly.
ricochet feeling
exactly.
when we try to carry that psychology into the higher frequencies.
Right. Now, here's what's even more important. If you take that 11 and 12 ricochet, okay, 11 plus 12 is 23, which is a 5. Okay, in ascendant numerology, you know what the definition of the 5 is in ascendant numerology? I am not making this up. Take the course. Those of you who take the course, go look it up in the book. The truth will be revealed.
The truth will be revealed.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but that hits me really hard for what's coming on during this eclipse.
Well, especially in Washington, D.C.
Well, but for everyone.
Yes.
You know, remember that these coordinates are holding this energy, and it doesn't it make sense right now? The whole world is shifting. Everyone is shifting right now, and many, many, many countries are holding their breath around what's happening in the United States. They're either following their lead or they're repelling. And let's face it, we're all sitting here saying, what is the end game? This can't go on forever. We have an opportunity to create a positive end game right now. And that's what's so powerful.
Yes.
And the key is, this isn't just geopolitical. What about your life? What do you want, my love? What do you really, really want? And can you get really clear on that? And if you have not given yourself that gift, then I suggest you do whatever you can to take the next 24 hours and you journal about it, pray about it, meditate on it, take a walk through it, vision it, see it, do whatever it can to say, this is what I want. Sit down with your spouse. I have Shri on appointment, I'll tell you that. And get clear. What do I want? What do I really want? And then tomorrow, join us at 12:12 Pacific time in the afternoon, right? 12:12 p.m. Pacific time at Shri and Kara Live, Voice of Passion and Action Radio, right here, Oneness Talk Radio, or ShriandKaraRadio.com, or BBS Radio tomorrow. And we're going to manifest that together on behalf of personal and planetary and universal reasons. And then we're going to send it ahead, where I strongly encourage you to set your alarm and be awake to actually receive the energy you sent ahead for yourself.
At 12 a.m., that's just after midnight.
Do you get why that's so important? That's the divine mirror. That's the 11 hitting the 12 back to the 11. That's our way to be a counterbalance of positive motion, positive force, positive energy. Thank you, Ascendant Numerology.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just want to underscore something. Some of what we're sharing to some people may seem, well, that's a little fantastic. and to those folks, I say,
cool.
Thank you for listening.
Cool.
And
we're glad you're here.
Try it out. Just try it out. Because one thing I've learned in my life is there's nothing like a deadline to focus your energy, to bring it to clarity. Well, these magical moments,
and they are magical,
are points of crystallization of intent and energy. And as we gather together and say, I am holding open the dimensional doorway for my own participation, I'm willing to look in the mirror and love what I see and command the next chapter.
Well, and Shri, I've got to say that. So that 5, and then I want to, before we run out of time, I also want to share with you guys what the full times come together. But here's the deal. So that 5, which is Washington, D.C., United States of America, January 21, 2019, unified energy is a 5, which is the truth revealed. Here is exactly the short version of what we say in Ascended Numerology about that moment. And you tell me if this isn't eerily accurate. 5 brings forward all energy and situations that have been hidden, yet they may not be visible for understanding. It invites you to look deeply at the truths around you and the deceptions. When you see the truth, the star of the 5 will emerge, and the freedom from pain, chaos, and doubt is abundant. Wow. Now, I want to go fast because I know we're going to run out of time. If we add to this the full time, so I just did the full eclipse. So the full eclipse begins at 11:41:17. Okay, that is a 6 again, which is the unified masculine and feminine. It's the
Yeah.
light vehicle, right? The maximum, the 12, 12, 14 is an 11.
Oh, again.
Again, that's what I'm telling you. Mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall, okay?
Yeah.
And so I'm not,
The one
I
and the
kid
one.
you not. And then when the eclipse ends, here's what's so cool, and I was hoping this would come in at some point. It's a 7, but it's actually a 7 plus the infinite, because it came from a 70.
A 70, so
remember,
7 plus 0.
In ascended numerology, we use the 0. So when we reduce to a number that is like a 50, 60, 70, whatever, it's that number plus the infinite. And that's actually our moment of opportunity.
Mhm.
And that 7 plus the infinite occurs right when the full eclipse ends at 12:43:15. Now, if I put all that together, what is the overall energy of this eclipse? It's the 6. It's unification. It's that opportunity to say, okay, we are at a profound moment where everything can come back together, where we have been reinserted into that timeline. You can re-up your life. You can manifest.
And
Massive.
And this is why the Merkaba of the Face is so potently appropriate.
Yes.
Because it is the 2 triangles. It is the Merkaba, the 6 energy.
And so I want to say also that you've got to stay tuned right here at YouTube, because our dear friends Alan and Sandra are coming up right after this show with Twin Flame Divine Fire. And hey, guess who's their guest the second half of their show today?
I give up who?
It's Shri and I. And so we have no idea what they want to chat with us about, but we're excited to find out and learn. And please, please, please spread the word. Join us tomorrow. Please join us. The more of us that can be there live to empower this energy, the better.
Well, this is an amazing event, an amazing opportunity to participate in the magic that is unfolding. You know, it's really important to hold open the doorway to magical possibilities, to the alchemical fruition. So often in our lives, we kind of germinate, and then there's a moment of pop. And that moment of pop is suddenly we're flying free, and we don't quite know what prior event brought us there, but we are launched. We're moving. We're in the zone.
Right.
We encourage you to trust your soul's journey and join us in the zone tomorrow.
Yeah. The self-ascension zone. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, guys, this is sincerely one of those moments where putting your ascended presence into motion really makes a difference. And we are better together, are we not? And this is why every Saturday we do want to say thank you to Chris and Shrigio for Truth Frequency Radio, for the simulcasting opportunity for this beautiful Spirit Saturday that brings so many beings together from all different experiences, all different perspectives. But the one thing that we are all demonstrating is that we can stay together. We are all one voice. And all voices deserve to be heard. It doesn't mean you have to agree with them, and it doesn't mean there aren't ramifications. However, they do deserve to be heard.
You know, one of the things that's perhaps one of the most potent lessons for your spiritual growth is the recognition that through the diversity of perspectives, peoples, races, points of view, belief systems, through the manifest allness, which means that the creative impulse that is at the center of your being can manifest an incredible infinite variety of expressions. That allness, if embraced, will bring you to the cosmic moment of full realization of oneness.
And I gotta say, speaking of that cosmic moment, seriously guys, go check out ShriandKira.com. Click right there on the homepage, find out about this cosmic journey. Go well beyond the ancient aliens and find the truth. Come on and join us.
That's the June solstice event,
yeah.
and that's coming up. And
we're very excited.
It's so, beloved ones. We still have another minute or so here to talk, and that I can say a lot in a minute.
Well, I'm seeing a lot happening in the OTR chat room, and we're also saying hi to everybody over in the TFR chat room, and of course all of you that have been watching us at YouTube Live. We love you. Subscribe, spread the word. Please help us.
And so here we are. It is an opportunity for 2019 to become the springboard for your spiritual mastery.
Yeah.
We use 2018 to anchor in Shakti, Bhakti and Ananda, peace, love, and joy.
First, second, third chakras.
To open ourselves to saying, okay, if not now, when? I
Exactly.
choose to be at peace with myself. I choose to love all creation, and I choose to embrace the joy of what is. And that, my friends, is the essential foundation for living an ascended life, and that we hope that you are touching each and every day in your lives.
We'll see you tomorrow. We will. I think we're talking over right now.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to say goodbye.
I have your questions answered.
Hey YouTube, stay tuned because in just a few minutes, Sandra and Alan are going to be coming on with Twin Flame Divine Fire. We are so excited, so we're going to do a little camera shift so
Yep,
they
we're
can
going
take the
to
table.
shut down the feed and restart it again in about 3 minutes.
But hang in there.